We're talking full on what's it like to live in Mondstadt, not just quest there, but belong. Got a stack of fan theories and in-game lore here that's obsessed with that idea.
So less about the actual gameplay, more about capturing the vibe. That feeling Mondstadt gives off. Yeah, I see that in these notes.
Totally. Like, we all know about the giant windmill, the freedom thing, Knights of Favonius, but what does the air smell like in the morning? Is it actually relaxing, or is that just game logic talking?
And that's the challenge, right? We've got to ground this fantasy in something real. Luckily, Genjin's pretty good at hinting at those sensory details. Your sources, for example, keep mentioning the wind. It's not just weather in Mondstadt, it's practically a character.
Oh, totally. Like, imagine waking up to the sound of wind chimes instead of an alarm clock. And not just any wind chimes, but like ones crafted to sound like the city theme music almost.
There you go, you're already getting it. And the wind isn't just a sound either. Think about how it influences everything. The windmills for power, the gliders for travel, even the music. Imagine the bards composing songs that change melody depending on which way the wind is blowing.
Okay, that's seriously cool. Makes you feel like the city's alive, you know? Breathing with you. But it's not just about the wind, right? What about the people? What's the community vibe like in Mondstadt?
Right. Your sources are full of this idea of Mondstadt being incredibly close-knit. Think about it. Even in the game, we're constantly bumping into NPCs with their own little stories and routines. Now picture those folks not as quest givers, but as your neighbors.
Oh, I love that. Like, imagine grabbing a morning coffee, except it's not coffee, it's some kind of weird Mondstadt energy drink.
Dandelion tea, maybe?
Exactly. And you're chatting with Marjorie at the Good Hunter about how her sweet madames are selling like crazy because of Windbloom Festival prep.
And then later, you bump into Diluc at the tavern, not as some brooding Batman figure, but as the guy who actually owns the place, stressing over inventory because a storm delayed his shipments from Springvale.
Okay, hold on, this is getting good. So, we've got this picture of Mondstadt as this idyllic, carefree place. But, like any city, it's gotta have its downsides, right? What are some of the challenges that your notes are bringing up?
Good point. Even paradise has its problems, right? And Mondstadt is no exception. Like, they're hugely reliant on their cider production, right? Which means any kind of blight or bad harvest could really mess things up.
Yeah, the game actually touches on that. Wasn't there something called the Great Gale that devastated the orchards like way back when?
Exactly.
Yeah.
1562, if those library books are to be believed, wiped out almost their entire cider supply, caused an economic crisis, shows how even a city so in tune with nature is also vulnerable to it.
Makes those Knights of Favonius more than just pretty faces, huh? They've got to protect the orchards too, not just fight off slimes and hilichurls.
And let's not forget those. That's another thing your sources mentioned, that ever-present threat from outside the walls. Always lurking. It might not be as in your face as, say, the Fat Tui and Liu, but it's there.
Yeah.
Definitely keeps things interesting for the Knights.
Okay, so Mondstadt isn't all sunshine and wind chimes. There's a bit of an edge to it, but honestly, that makes it feel more real, doesn't it?
Hey.
Like, you appreciate the freedom more knowing it's not a given?
Totally. It's that contrast, right? The joy of a festival, the warmth of the community, set against that backdrop of potential danger that makes Mondstadt so compelling. It's what makes it feel alive.
It makes you think, you know. If you could actually choose your life in Tevat, where would you end up? What would your perfect day in Mondstadt look like, given everything we've just uncovered?
See, now that's the real deep dive, and one you'll have to answer for yourselves, listeners. Because that's the magic of a place like Mondstadt. It invites you to imagine yourself right there, part of it all.
Wind in your hair, smell of Cecilia flowers, maybe a Fatui ambush just to spice things up.
Hey, gotta keep those reflexes sharp. But for real, that's Mondstadt for you.